Well, good morning and welcome to this Money Control live stream. You're watching Opening Bell with me, Nandita Khemka, and we will be dissecting the ebbs and flows of the market and also talking about the stocks that are in news this morning. Well, when you look at the cues coming in from the global markets, Wall Street shut shop in the green with the Nasdaq clinching its first three-day winning streak since the month of November. Looking at the Asian markets, well, they've also risen ahead of the inflation data that is due tomorrow. If you look at what the Fed had to say yesterday, Jerome Powell at a conference refrained from making any comments on policy path going forward, but he did say that the central bank will have to take some tough measures when it comes to tackling inflation, and that should be free of any kind of political influence. So that is something that came in. However, there were no clues coming in on the policy path going forward. If you look at the oil prices, well, they also saw a drop amid a rise in US inventories. In fact, the SGX Nifty, if you look at that is giving out a very tepid cue, but then it is trading with a positive bias. So we will be watching out for a flattish to positive start when it comes to the Indian markets. Remember, markets did see a 1% slump in trade yesterday despite supportive global cues. Remember, Nasdaq has, as I mentioned, has seen a three-day winning streak. So positive cues from Nasdaq came in yesterday as well, but we saw the markets defy that trend and in fact edge lower by 1% or thereabouts. But if you look at the fund flows, even though FIIs have remained net sellers, but we did see steady buying coming in from the domestic investors. They bought somewhere around 1800 crore rupees. They bought shares to the tune of 1800 crore rupees in the cash segment yesterday. So all in all, it looks like it is going to be a flattish start, but hoping for a positive one. And we will have to see whether or not markets will be able to sustain any kind of positive up move if it opens in the green. Moving on to some hot brokerage bets this morning. Morgan Stanley, well, it has come out with a report on Cyient and it has maintained an underweight rating on the stock, and it has pegged a target of 730 rupees per share on the counter. The brokerage believes that there is a potential of a partial divestment in its DLM business, and that will come as a positive for the company. It will also provide greater flexibility to scale up the business, and this may also unlock shareholder value. Now, some of the optimism, however, it says may already be baked into the stock price. So that is one counter that we will have to keep on our watch for today. On the other hand, CLSA has come out with a buy rating on L&T and has kept a target price of 2,570 on the counter, which is a 20% upside from the current levels. Now, the brokerage believes that improving orders and robust engineering and construction execution may bode well for the company going forward. In fact, the margins may also see a boost in the wake of a fall in raw material prices. Cost, in fact, if you look at the worst, the brokerage is also saying that the worst may be over when it comes to L&T Finance, and it's the twin themes of turning around the loss-making business that may come as a positive for the company. In fact, the key catalysts for the brokerage has also laid out key catalysts for the company going forward. It says that EPS may double by FY25. The other stock, in fact, let's also take a look at some of the stocks that will be in focus today on the basis of news flow. First one is Adani Wilmar. The company has registered an overall volume growth in high teens, but in value terms, the growth has been largely in single digits for the third quarter of FY23. The edible oil segment has also seen high single-digit volume growth and low single-digit rise in value. KR Choksey Securities, the brokerage firm, has said that the company's strategy of penetration-led growth and focus on international market will support growth going forward. New product launches as well as acquisition of the Kohinoor brand is something that will bode well for the company. Now, PC Jewellers is the next counter that will be in focus. The company has recorded a 38% growth in its domestic turnover for the third quarter. It has in fact also opened a new franchisee showroom in Bihar, and the stock has rallied somewhere around 160% in the last 6 months. The next stock that will be in focus will of course be Tata Motors. We saw a 6% jump on the counter on the back of strong global wholesales data as well as visibility on JLR margins. In fact, CLSA has also upgraded the counter and has pegged a target of 512 rupees on the counter. The group wholesales, as I mentioned, in the third quarter, including JLR, were at somewhere around 3,22,556, which is up by 13% compared to the same period last year. Another pocket that will be in focus today will be the defense stocks. Defense Acquisition Council has given its nod for capital acquisition proposal worth 4,200 crore rupees. Now, the three proposals include two from the Indian Army and one of the Navy. Now, these include the procurement of Helena anti-tank guided missiles, launchers, etc. And the likely beneficiary of this move will be Bharat Dynamics, Astra Microwave and Data Patterns. Now, if you know that lately the defense stocks have been in the limelight with expectations that the budget will focus on certain announcements or capital outlay for the defense sector, and that will bode well for the defense stocks going forward. Now, the markets have also opened up, and they have opened up in the green. The Nifty Sensex is up about 27 points or thereabouts. Nifty Bank flattish but with positive bias. Mid-cap index is gaining to the tune of 0.3% or thereabouts. If you look at the Nifty Bank index, it's in fact slipped into the red now. The NSE advanced declines ratio is 1,300 shares gaining to 370 shares declining. If you look at some of the stocks that are in focus today, well, Tata Motors, let's pull up that counter. Remember, the stock saw a 6% up move in yesterday's session, and its arm has also completed the acquisition of Sanand Ford India's Sanand plant in Gujarat. Now, this stock is up 0.5% or so, so it is extending its up move. And also pull up the IT stocks. Yesterday, we saw TCS come under a fair bit of pressure despite reporting a strong set of numbers in the third quarter. So the entire IT pack is down, trading with a negative bias. TCS is extending its losses. Let's also look at, in fact, Infosys is trading with a positive bias. HCL Tech gaining to the tune of 0.5% or thereabouts. Let's also pull up some defense stocks. Data Patterns, Astra Micro, BEL, all these counters will be in focus after the Defence Council has approved acceptance of three capital acquisition proposals worth 4,200 crore rupees. There you go, Data Patterns up about 1.5% or thereabouts. Well, all in all, it looks like we have opened in the green, but we will have to wait and see whether or not these gains sustain by the end of the day. Well, we will be getting you a stock check around midday, so watch out for that. But for now, it's a wrap on Opening Bell. For more news and all your financial news updates, stay tuned to Money Control.